My name is James Wibbs. I'm the Natrona County Coroner. A preliminary autopsy report is a singular piece of information not intended for public release. The preliminary autopsy report is only one aspect of an investigation. It is meant to be compared within the context of all other aspects of the investigation. Together, they are meant to facilitate the ultimate conclusions based upon the overall facts and evidence of an event. The preliminary autopsy report taken by itself and without consideration for the other known facts and evidence available can be misinterpreted and subject to inappropriate conjecture and assumptions. The preliminary autopsy report regarding the officer-involved shooting of June 6, 2024 was unintentionally released to a media representative, resulting in inaccurate assumptions being made that did not comport with the known facts of this case. It was not my intent for this information to be released, and I apologize that members of the community were left to interpret the information contained in the preliminary report outside of the traditional scope and context of a completed investigation. Thank you.
Within just minutes following the officer-involved shooting, which occurred on June 6, 2024, the Casper Police Department activated its traditional protocols of turning the investigation of the event over to a neutral third-party agency. In this case, the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigations, or DCI, was notified of our request for their assistance, and their personnel were on scene in mere minutes. Under normal circumstances, the Casper Police Department would await the completion of the DCI investigation and a review of the investigation by the Natrona County District Attorney's Office prior to making any public releases of body-worn camera footage or policy statements relating to the incident. In this case, the unfortunate unintended release of preliminary information was not accompanied by the traditional contextual pairing of that preliminary information by the coroner to the known facts and circumstances of the event in accordance with the coroner's own investigation. That preliminary information, absent the proper context, tended to cause conjecture and the spreading of misinformation. It potentially left our citizens in the difficult position of having to interpret the basic information contained within the preliminary report without the matching facts and evidence. For these reasons, I feel compelled to expedite the release of our department's body-worn camera footage so that our citizens may have a better understanding of the events leading up to the officer-involved shooting. Prior to doing so, I have personally met with the family of the deceased suspect, and I have consulted with the Natrona County District Attorney's Office and DCI in order to verify that this expedited release of video does not endanger the sanctity of their investigations and reviews. This release of video is difficult to watch. It involves the use of a firearm, the use of profanity, and, in the course of rendering first aid to the suspect, will show traumatic wounds to the suspect. It will also show the earnest efforts of the involved police officers to dissuade the suspect from his chosen path. The video record will demonstrate the suspect's repeated statements to the officers regarding his thought process and his resolve to not be taken into custody, including his statement that this was the reason why he had his weapon ready and near him. As is always the case, there will be those who, from the safety of their computer or smartphone, will engage in second-guessing the officers and their actions. There will be those who will offer opinions on what should have been done or what could have been done. None of these opinions will have been completed there, on the scene, in the face of a resolute suspect who has openly discussed death by cop and his lack of fear of getting into a firefight. No one but the officers will be in the unenviable position of asking themselves, while it was happening live in front of them, why did the suspect feel the need to arm himself in advance of the officer's arrival? Others will offer their opinion that the officer should have just left the area, a strategy that will not have addressed the unanswered question as to what the intentions of the suspect were, while armed and on the upper floor balcony of a busy apartment complex, and one inconsistent with the law regarding domestic violence investigations. Based upon the information available to me at this time, which is solely limited to the body-worn camera footage possessed by this department, It is my opinion that on the night of June 6, 2024, the actions of my officers were in line with their training, in compliance with the policies of the Casper Police Department, and in accordance with the Constitution. Because the Casper Police Department does not have access to any portion of the DCI or coroner's investigations, we will be unable to respond to any questions regarding the specifics of the investigation. Those questions should be addressed to the appropriate investigating agency. Thank you.